Hey there, and welcome to my messy home. My name's Kylie, and this week I wanted to bring you along for an entire house declutter. Lately I've been feeling really overwhelmed and like I can't even function inside of my own home. There's just been so many things accumulating, and this past year my husband and I had our first baby, and with that there has just been an influx of items coming into the house. So in the spirit of spring just being right around the corner, I was feeling the need to declutter, and then I felt extra inspired by a minimalism challenge I saw online. The basic idea of it was that you declutter something every single day. So the first day you declutter one item, the second day you declutter 2 items, the third day 3 items, and so on and so forth until you hit day 30. And over the course of those 30 days in total, you would have decluttered 465 items. But just for myself and knowing me, whenever I feel the urge to clean and declutter, it kind of just hits me in strikes. So I didn't want to take a whole month to do this. So instead, I decided to declutter my home in this week. For this challenge, I started with a bit of a gold mine, which was this basket. I'd previously heard if you haven't used an item for 6+ months, odds are you probably don't need it. And to be honest, this basket has been here for 2 years and I didn't even really know what was in it. So I got rid of quite a bit. Now, while I didn't follow this challenge exactly, I did follow the basic idea of starting simpler and gradually amping things up. So I started in my home in the easiest room possible, which is my living room, as I feel like it's the least cluttered. And as I went about this, I piled things in different piles. So I had a pile for things I want to keep, a pile of things to donate, a trash pile, and then a pile for things that just need a new home. In this new season of becoming a mom, I feel like my house has just been slow to reflect this reality, as we have a lot of items from university, or in my closet even items from high school, that I just need to let go of and embrace this new season. So here I'm going through me and my husband's books from university that we don't need, don't use, don't read. They're just taking up space, and instead filling this little cubby with some of my baby's items like his clothes and his toys. While I got rid of some of these books, there is a number of them that I just want to hold on to and keep for the future, or they were good books and we're not ready to let go of. So for items like that, I like to have them tucked away in a place that's still accessible but is not used on the daily. So here I use this faux fireplace bookshelf that I made a couple years back, and it's the perfect storage for it. If you're interested in checking that out, I have a blog post linked below. If you're looking for perhaps an even easier place to get started with this challenge, might I recommend the kitchen. If you're anything like me, you probably have loads of expired food that you haven't checked on in quite a while. This was honestly such an eye-opener for me, because my husband and I buy these items and maybe we bought them for 1 or 2 recipes and we forgot about them and haven't used them since. So this definitely put into perspective how we need to do better in the kitchen when we do our grocery shopping, and not buying items that are just for one recipe and then go to waste. And I honestly wouldn't have recognized this or realized this without doing this massive declutter. I feel like being more so conscious in the kitchen is really important, more so now than ever in my family, as right now I'm just on maternity leave and soon I have dreams of being a stay-at-home mom. So if I'm going to stay home, our income is definitely going to go down, and I'm going to be more so savvy of trying to save money, as well as the question mark of what these tariffs are going to do to our groceries and everyday prices of items we buy. So this is definitely an area that I need to get better in, and now realize that I'm very, very bad at. So for that, I am very grateful for this challenge. So day 1 of this challenge, I worked in the living room. Day 2, I went to the kitchen, and day 3, I didn't have as much time, so I just stuck to this exposed entryway closet. And here, something I found really helpful was actually physically touching every item to be aware and conscious of all of the different things I have and the things I want to keep, while asking myself questions like, is this functional? Does this fit? Do I need this item? Does this item have a purpose for this season. I think a lot of the items we have that accumulate, they might have served a purpose at one point, but they no longer serve that purpose. And so it's okay to let go of those things and donate them. One thing I don't like about our townhouse is that it does have these exposed closets. So here I tried to make it look cute, but upstairs there's another one where I actually got like a curtain to cover it and to hide it. But something I realized during this challenge is that like I wouldn't need that curtain to hide it if I didn't have all this cluttered crap hiding behind it. Nor do I need to go out and buy extra bins to hide all of my stuff. Instead, I just need to declutter and get rid of the crap. For this challenge, I basically went about decluttering my house either by a room at a time or a section of my home at a time, like this closet. But if you're looking for something smaller and even more so bite-sized, you could declutter a bin a day, or you could declutter your purse in a day. It doesn't have to be something huge or overwhelming. These small declutters each day make a big impact over time. For day 4, things are starting to get more difficult as I am moving on to my closet, which I honestly feel like is my biggest struggle bus. Me and my clothes in my closet have such a dysfunctional relationship, and it wasn't until recently that I realized my closet had basically become just a storage unit for all the clothes that I don't wear, because the clothes that I actually do wear end up on the ground and I just keep siphoning through those same clothes. So here I decided to get pretty cutthroat with my closet and basically just got rid of everything I don't wear. While decluttering my closet, some questions I asked myself was, did I wear this item in the past 6 months or the past year? If the answer was no, then it's an automatic give to the donation bin. Another question I asked myself is, how does this item make me feel when I wear it? For example, I had quite a few items that I absolutely loved, but I didn't necessarily love them on me. Every time I went to put them on, I would end up taking it off and changing into something else, and so for those items, I donated them. I made it a goal of mine during this process to keep all of my clothes contained in the closet, not under the bed and not under a different closet, but instead everything in one place for ease of use and as a healthy marker to keep myself accountable, because if my closet is overflowing, I definitely have too many clothes. Since I live in Canada where the winters are long and dark, it was really important for me to go ahead and get this declutter done so that I can fully enjoy the beautiful weather in the spring and summer days outside and not at home or frustrated with my own home. As I was nearing the end of the week and the end of this challenge, I came to the realization that even though I was doing all this decluttering, my house wasn't necessarily feeling more peaceful, at least not yet. And one, I think that's because whenever decluttering, it kind of feels like your house gets more messy before it gets clean. But it also made me realize that the reason I feel like I have so much clutter in my home is because some things simply don't have a home. So here in the laundry room, I was able to thrift this super cute laundry basket that was perfect for our space. So now my husband and I have our laundry basket we share, and then my baby has his own to help keep things organized and prevent things from just being splattered all over the floor. I also created an official home for other items that were previously considered homeless. Since having my baby, I just haven't had systems in place as the best way to contain his clothes or all of his burp cloths and things like that. So this felt really good to finally have a home and figure out a space that is functional for us. We don't have a nursery, so here in front of the TV is where we do a lot of his changing and getting dressed. So making it functional for what works for you and your home, even if that doesn't seem like the most traditional place for items to go. Another thing I did to help with the visual clutter and everyday items that just need a home that we use all the time is to create a home that's in the place where they're always used, but in something that's a little bit cuter. So here I just used a little basket. By the end of this challenge, I decluttered 365 items in 1 week. So by the definitions of the other challenge, technically I didn't make it to that 460 item mark, but 365 items out of my house is quite a bit, and I'm gonna call that a win. If you do plan on doing a massive declutter at your own home, I think it's important to also give yourself grace, as decluttering is not easy, especially when there are emotional attachments involved. Do whatever's manageable for you and right for your own home. I hope this video was inspiring and encouraging to you in some way. If you are interested in seeing more of the normal day-to-day activities in my home, here on this channel I like to share my journey as a young mom and a young homemaker who's learning new skills like sewing and cooking from scratch, as well as making the most of our cheap rental with DIY renter-friendly projects. So feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you next week.